Okay, another short siman Tov Gimel. Din bika shekufa enim Yehudim. Shabbos babika. If a person was living in a valley, v'kifua enim Yehudim b'Shabbos, and then you were sitting there, and suddenly Shabbos morning, some non-Jewish people come along, and they build mechitzas around your residential area, and the mechitzas are there ladira. Eina hoilech ba ela alpaim amo. The shvisa has already been fixed, and therefore your shvisa, your tchum has been fixed on when Ben Hashmoshes, when Shabbos came in, and therefore you only have 2,000 amas from where you were living, your house, on Shabbos, and not from the edge of the mechitza that has been built on Shabbos morning by these non-Jewish people who just rocked up. She'ena kulika arba amas. We don't treat the city as one, as one place of arba amas. Shabbos ba'avir mechitza, because you didn't reside at Ben Hashmoshes within the mechitzas, because they were built after Shabbos came in. Says Mishnah Berurah till then. Shabbos b'bika pirush v'kona sham shvisa liyos le'memokem lahalich alpaim lechol Orach. You were there when Shabbos came in, and therefore you've got 2,000 amos in all directions. Aval taltal ein le'rak arba amos to karmelisi. You can walk, but you can't carry there because there's no mechitzas. It's a karmelis. V'kifu akum, and then non-Jewish people came along and they built a mechitza. V'she'asu la mechitza seviva around it. V'kaim la mechitza asuya b'Shabbos shma mechitza. There's machlekes in the Gemara, but we paskin a mechitza which is asuya b'Shabbos is considered a mechitza. And it's made ladira. Sheikufu l'dor b'soicha. They've made it that people can, their residents living inside this mechitza. Dilav hochi imahekav yosim beis Yisayim. Because if the thing was much bigger, was bigger than beis Yisayim, she was shivim amal shivim am, which is 70 square amas. Lo mishtar letiltu ba'ela ba'arba amas afilu al lidei zrika, because that's not mukaf ladira. Ela alpaim. So all you've got is 2,000 amas from your house in Mokum Shekona Shvisa, from the place where you were Kona Shvisa. Deloi mahani le hai mechitzas klal in hiluch. The mechitzas that were built at some point over Shabbos doesn't help you.
They made it into a kula or chumrah.
So they've made it's. You will see soon there is a kula coming up, but in terms of walking and tchum, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because what they've done it's not a gear to your shvisa, because which is what your default was.
Yes.
In other words, as if they didn't do anything.
What would you have thought? That's less because they made a
I see. No, you'll see in a second. In contrast to doing something else, you're allowed to do. Okay, so let's carry on the Mishnah Berurah. Kivin shalei Shabbos rotzolema zolema ani mechitzas lias al yodom al kol hashetach arba amas. It hasn't helped you to create this whole within the mechitzas one block of 4 amas to carry 2,000 amas from the mechitza. It only would have helped if they would have built the mechitzas before Shabbos. It wasn't mukaf mechitzas when Shabbos came in. And you were only kona shvisa alpaim amma from your house, where you were kona shvisa on Erev Shabbos. Afshe kifu mechitzas b'Shabbos, even though they now surround the mechitzas on Shabbos, eino lahalech el alpaim shaloi. You're back to your original situation. Nothing's changed. V'lo dovi l'siman tofhei. It's not the same as what we're going to come to in siman tofhei. Be'im hoitziu akum bal karchoi. That a non-Jewish person, against your will, took you out of your place, chuz to tchum, outside of your tchum, and osnu toich ir acheres, and they placed you in another city, hamukefes chayma, which is surrounded with a wall. To mahaliches kula, you're there, even though you're outside of your tchum. If they placed you in the second city, you're allowed to walk the entire city. Why? Because that city is called has got a din of arba amas. Even though you weren't there before Shabbos came in. So what's the difference? Because there you're outside of your tchum. So you shouldn't be walking more than arbas. But the trouble is, the point is, you've been put in a city which is considered one just daled amas, because it's mukaf mechitzas. Therefore, you're allowed to walk in daled amas. What does that mean? The entire city. And therefore, there's a kula over there, because you were forced out. We treat the whole city as arba amas. And that's why over there in Siman Tofhei, if you were forced out, you were schlepped out of your city and placed in another city which is outside of your tchum, we allow you to walk the whole city, because really that city has a din of arba amas. Because you've got 2,000 amas to walk in any event. So therefore they're not makel in this situation. There's no need really. Okay, back to the Machaba. Umataltel, this is the point, Yossi. Umataltel kula al yedei zrika. However, this mechitza is now a good mechitza, so you are allowed to throw things. Sheyachol lizrek afilu chutz l'alpayim, and you can throw things even beyond the tchum. So imagine you're here, they've came along and they've built a mechitza around you, right? So you've only got 2,000 amas, right? But because it's an area which has got them now, which is mukaf mechitza, you're allowed to not carry, we'll see soon, but to throw something even if it lands beyond your tchum. You can't go beyond the tchum, but you can throw something beyond your tchum. That's what this mechitza has enabled you to do. Says Mishnah Berurah, l'taltel b'kula sif cotton vav ratzolema after the Indian hiluch le'nechshav hekav klal mechitza machmas shelo Shabbos ba'avira mechitzas. It doesn't help you to walk, as we've described. Le'inyan issa tiltulei bas lambazeh, regarding moving things. Kiven sheyesh mechitza al kol panim machshav, since the lemaisa there are mechitzas there now. V'kaim al mechitza ha'asuya b'Shabbos shma mechitza, and therefore sheyochel lizrek sif cotton zayin v'davke b'chafotzim shel odom acha shemagia tchumei lahalon me'alpayim shelo chafotzim shel hefka. Specifically, we're talking about things where there aren't tchum problems. For example, a chefetz shel hefka. Because otherwise then you can't, because that chefetz is bound by the tchum. So hakelim karagli abaylim. Kamosha kosov siman shin tzadizayin sif gimel. Okay, let's just finish the Ramah. Avol letaltel mamish chutz la'arba amas osa afilu teich apayim. But to move it, that you can't do. Says the Mishnah Berurah, ku'urcha shelo yad zrika, just moving it normally, but not through throwing it. Also, va'atam, and the reason is the kibbutz the ef shelo letaltel chutz la'alpayim el yad zrika. You're only allowed to move it through throwing it, not through carrying it. To ef shelo halachsham, because you can't actually go there because it's beyond your tchum. Teich apayim shelo nami also letaltel ba'urche. Therefore, within the 2,000 amas, you're still not allowed to carry and to move it. Why? In other words, you've got your house over here. They came along and built this big fence around it. So that hasn't changed in terms of tchum. I can't now go beyond 2,000 yards from the end of the fence. I can't do that because the shvisa, the mokum tchum, is from where I was kohen on Erev Shabbos. But what I can do is I can throw something, right? What can I throw? I can throw even beyond the tchum. Let's say my tchum ends over there and the mechitza is further. I can throw more. But I can't carry anything. It doesn't help me in terms of carrying things. Why? Because it's open, so it's porous. It's the whole thing. My tchum ends in a place which is totally porous. It's totally open and exposed to nothing. There's no mechitza. The mechitza that they built is bigger. So therefore, it's considered it's open to a place which I can't carry to. So therefore, Chazal say that I can't carry more. However, v'da the reiva poskim cholkim al zeh. Most poskim argue with this. So svir lehu the toichatayim afatil to kol urchim muta, that within 2,000 amas, i.e., the area of my tchum, I actually am allowed to move things and carry things because lemaisa it's a rishus hayochid. V'lo mikri poretz l'makam also, and it's not called a situation of poretz, an exposed open area, to something which is also for me to carry. To b'makam hamuta hu be'etzem, because in the place where I can carry. V'ragim be'she ef shlo leilech l'shom, it's just that I can't get there. She'uchutz l'apayim, because it's more than 2,000 amas away. Ein lo eitz l'taltel l'shom, I've got no eitz to move things there. Kimo l'tezrik, I can throw something there, but not move something there. V'chein iskimu achrenim, so in other words, I can't move something beyond my 2,000 amas, but within my 2,000 amas, if I want to carry, according to this opinion, that would be okay. All right, let's say that, we'll leave it up.